Okay, so here's my Jackson DK M1, whatever you call it, Dinky. It's got EMG pickups. It's a pretty decent guitar. It wasn't bad for 350 bucks or something. But the action is really high. Way up here, and even up here to some extent, which makes it really hard to play. So I've been watching videos on doing guitar setups, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm detecting a slight concave bow in the neck here in the middle. So I'm gonna do some truss rod adjustments and try and get that out of there. And I'm gonna try and lower the action, which is gonna be difficult because, as you can see, it's got a Floyd Rose tremolo, which will make things extra hard. And I have a feeling that those pickups are way too far away from the strings because they should be hotter than they are. So I'm going to try and do all of those things today. As you can see here, at the 19th fret, that low E string is fully 5 centimeters above the fret. Makes it a little bit difficult to play. Might even be 6 centimeters, holy moly. 5 to 6 centimeters. And it looks like it's like that all the way down, so I've got to adjust that. Okay, and to make matters worse, it looks like I've got an intonation problem. Hopefully we can see this here on the video, but so I'm in tune there, and I am a couple of semitones sharp at the 12th fret on every string. It's nowhere near as bad on other strings as it is on the low E. Most of the strings it's only a single semitone or so. And it looks like the high E string is actually pretty close. In fact, it's dead on. So I'm hopeful that the neck adjustment will take care of most of that. If not, I'm going to have to mess with the intonation too. Yay! And it looks like the problems just continue with this guitar. As you can see here, the strings are in tune and the tremolo is out of level. So I'm going to have to adjust the tremolo strings as well. Good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to start by relieving some tension on the truss rod, which, here's my little tool here. Releasing tension on the truss rod should, if I remember anything correctly, relieve some of that bow in the neck and straighten it out a little bit. So I'm going to give it maybe a quarter of a turn. That was about an eighth of a turn. It's a little difficult to do when the strings are on and tight. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at the neck and see how we did. Alright, and there's still a noticeable bow. I'm not going to bother to try and film it because I've seen before that you just can't visualize it on the camera. So, still got a bit of a bow. I'm going to give it another quarter turn or so here. And it is improving, but it's not there yet. So I'm going to give it another good turn here. Maybe even another half a turn or so. Let's see how that does. Okay, anybody who's watching this has probably already spent a bunch of time yelling at their monitor that I've been adjusting the truss rod the wrong direction. Loosening the truss rod increases the bow by allowing the strings to pull on the neck more. So what I actually need to do is tighten the truss rod. So I'm going to give that a good number of turns here. See where we're at now. Okay, so that did the trick. Now the neck is nice and straight and flat. Let's see if we can get a good measurement on, see if the string height has changed at all. Actually still got about the same distance of string height there. Let's see. Well, let me tune it up first. 1 second. Okay, so now where we are is she's in tune. Oh no, she's out of tune. I'll be right back. Okay, situation is it's more or less in tune now. And let's see if our intonation is any better. It is, it's much better. It's actually right close to being perfect. Mostly. Maybe a semitone off on every string. But that's actually close enough for me. Well, that B string's a little off, but so maybe I'll correct that later on, but it's pretty darn close. What I did introduce was some fret buzz, if you can hear that. It's not too bad, but it's actually not bad at all. So I may end up fixing that a little bit. I may end up raising that, especially once I adjust the tremolo to get that back into level. That may cause more fret buzz because I have to tighten the springs up a little bit. I don't know, let's see if we can see it here. It's not far off, but it's just enough where tightening those springs up a little bit will lower the action a little bit more. It's still a little bit high for my taste, but it's feeling a lot better right now. So that's the next step. I'm going to tighten up the springs on the tremolo and go from there. Alright, here's the back side exposed, showing the tremolo springs. So my task here is going to be to tighten these 2 screws to bring the tremolo back to level now that the strings are in tune. And I don't expect I will need too much. Maybe I'll give it a quarter or half a turn. It's really not that far out, but there's a half a turn each. Let's see how that looks now. Actually looks right about on target. Let's see if I can get this on camera at all. Yeah, it's a lot closer. You can see there it's almost exactly parallel with the guitar body. That's pretty good. Actually, I might give it another, I don't know, another quarter of a turn or something. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe an eighth of a turn. Yeah, that's pretty much got it, I think. That's pretty much got it. It looks really good. Okay, now to go back to, let's see, so I'll seal that back up, and then I'm going to go back to the fret buzz and see what I can do about that now that I've probably made it worse. Okay, so I've finished everything. I put it back in tune more or less. The tremolo really required a lot of extra tuning after the adjustment, but I can say that now it plays much better. Surprising, because it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of difference in the distances between the frets and the strings, but it feels like night and day. There's still a little buzz. It's only noticeable when you play real aggressively. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and adjust the height of the pickups and see what sort of change that makes. But that is it. That was my first guitar setup. Not too bad. I have to say, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.